The day Leo stopped crowing a powerful story about being unappreciated every morning before the sun even touched the sky, a rooster named Leo stood proudly on the old wooden fence of the farm. He took a deep breath, lifted his head, and crowed loudly. Cock-a-doodle-doo! His voice echoed across the fields, through the barns, and into every farmhouse window. That sound meant only one thing. A new day had begun. For years Leo did this job faithfully. His crow woke the farmers before sunrise so they could start their work early. The cows were milked on time. The crops were watered before the heat. The entire farm moved smoothly because Leo never failed. Leo believed he was helping everyone. He believed he was important. But the farmers didn't see it that way. Instead of gratitude, Leo heard angry voices every morning. Be quiet. Stop that noise. Why do you always wake us so early? Sometimes stones were thrown toward the fence. Sometimes windows slammed shut. Leo tried to ignore it. Maybe they are just tired, he thought. So the next morning he crowed again. And the next day and the next. But the anger never stopped. Day after day Leo stood on the fence doing his duty, yet feeling more and more invisible. One morning before dawn, after hearing another farmer shout angrily, Leo slowly lowered his head. The sky was still dark. The air was cold and quiet. Leo looked at the sleeping farm and whispered to himself, maybe the greatest respect you can give yourself is knowing when to stop giving your voice to people who don't value it. That morning Leo stayed silent. The farm remained peaceful, almost too peaceful. No crowing. No sound. The farmers slept longer than usual. And while the farm was still deep in sleep, shadows moved quietly near the barns. A group of thieves had been watching the farm for weeks. They knew something important. Every day the rooster crowed before sunrise. That sound meant the farmers would wake soon. But today there was no sound. No warning. No movement. The thieves smiled. Slowly, carefully, they opened the gates and led the animals away. Chickens. Sheep. Even 2 young cows. By the time the first farmer finally woke up, the sun was already climbing into the sky. He stepped outside and looked around. Something felt wrong. The barns were too quiet. He ran to the chicken coop. Empty. He ran to the sheep pen. Gone. Within minutes the entire farm realized the truth. They had been robbed. The farmers stood in shock. Then one old farmer slowly looked at the empty fence. "Where is Leo?" he asked. Only then did they notice the silence. No rooster. No crowing. No warning. One young farmer spoke quietly. "We spent years complaining about him, but he was protecting our mornings." Another farmer sighed deeply. "We thought he was annoying, but he was the reason we woke up in time." But by then Leo was far away. He had flown beyond the fields, beyond the forest, until he found a quiet valley near a small village. The people there woke early to work. And on the first morning Leo crowed, something surprising happened. Instead of anger, the villagers smiled. One farmer even laughed and said, "That's the best alarm clock we've ever had." For the first time in his life, Leo heard something he had never heard before. "Thank you?" Leo closed his eyes and felt a warm peace in his heart. Sometimes the problem isn't your voice. Sometimes the problem is the place where you're using it. Because the truth is simple. The same rooster that is called annoying in one place can be called valuable in another. Never silence your gift just because the wrong people don't appreciate it. Somewhere in this world your voice is needed. Somewhere your effort matters. And somewhere your crow will wake people who are grateful to hear it. Moral of the story: never stop being who you are for people who don't value you. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is find a place where your voice is appreciated.